God-loving American patriots. Go ahead, Cajun Buccaneer.
Hey, good evening, brother and sister pro-life American whistleblowers. Our Father, which art in heaven, holy, holy, holy is your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, and deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. We pledge allegiance to the people of the United States of America and to the republic. That's right, the republic, for which they all stand. One nation under God, with liberty and justice and freedom forever for all. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Cajun Whistleblower Buccaneer. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My fellow God-loving American patriots. Welcome to this week's unfiltered edition of Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya. This is Flint John Swisher and my sidekick, Mike Silva.
Good evening.
And my special co-host, Martha Huckabee.
Good evening. All right. Well, we're going to have an exciting night tonight with our guests. We have a guest, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser.
That's right.
And, Dr. John Merrifield.
Okay. First, we can start off with Billy first, right?
How are you doing, Billy?
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Great.
Congratulations on the re-election.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
It was by, I was looking at the results. You won by 45 points. That's pretty good considering, you had 65.5 and your nearest competitor had 20.5. So that's a pretty good margin of victory there. So,
Well, I was pleasantly surprised. You never know when you have a really weird election like this with low turnout, wondering who's going to turn out. Since the election, I've run into 10 people that said, congratulations, I didn't vote. I said, you didn't vote? I said, well, no, I really didn't like anyone running for governor. I said, well, what about me? Oh, I knew you were going to win. I'm like, no, you got to go vote. So it's a little disheartening that so many people didn't vote.
I heard there was only 35% turnout. That's way too low.
Yeah, when I ran the first time, and it was a low turnout because Bobby Jindal didn't have a real race for re-election. My next race, I got 50,000 cups printed, and I put on the cup real big, honor our veterans by voting. Of course, I put my name on the other side. But I wrote on that elephant peanut, and I threw those cups in every parade across the state just to hope if a few people would just go vote to honor our veterans, it may make a difference.
Absolutely. Got to honor the veterans. Well, we're going to get right to it with the first question for you, Billy. Prior to announcing your reelection for this third term, it says you were considering a run for governor, but in January, you said you had some unfinished business with your current position. Can you tell us what some of that unfinished business is?
Well, we had 5 record-breaking years to tourism, and coming out of COVID, it's crucial that we get back to not only where we were, but to continue to grow tourism. In 2019, it was the 4th biggest industry in Louisiana. It slipped to number 5 during COVID and right after COVID. And it's crucial to every community. So many businesses rely on the tourism industry, 250,000 families in Louisiana. So helping every community, every business, every attraction get back to those numbers is crucial. And that's why I never stopped working, even during the campaign, to do everything physically possible to promote every corner of the state. And that's why we've kind of hit the ground running. I'll be in Dallas this week promoting Louisiana seafood and tourism at 16 restaurants across Dallas over 3 days. But it's crucial that we get back those record-breaking numbers. And I'm on a mission to make all of our states' parks make money, so we don't need any of your tax dollars to run our parks.
Amen.
That they can actually they can actually generate money. When's the last time you heard of a state agency making money? We have 7 state parks making a profit today.
That's great.
That is excellent.
Part of that, the record number of visitors, that was extremely hard to do, I'm sure, with the COVID thing going on. It also brought in it also brought in almost $19 billion to the state. That's incredible.
Well, the number I like to tell people is $1.9 billion in taxes. That's $1,100 per Louisiana family you and I didn't have to pay, and we got so much more to do. Sports tourism all over the state, promoting Mardi Gras in every corner, and now hopefully we're going to have legislation to merge the Secretary of State's museums with mine and promote all 211 museums around the state. And I want to do just like we did with parks, do some private-public partnerships where some of our museums can generate money and make money.
Speaking of museums, what is your take? We need to put the Civil War monuments back to their rightful, respectful places. Martha, wouldn't you agree with me on that?
Yes, of course. Or where
Well,
are
we
they?
had, well, I've got pictures of them in my phone. We had an agreement with the mayor to move them to a historical site in our state parks. We raised some private money. We had a truck and a crane lined up, and the week we were supposed to move them, I kept waiting on the letter of release. On the Thursday before the Friday we were going to move them, I was informed the mayor now wanted me to go before the city council to get their authority.
That's not their monument. That's for us.
Federal.
Well, I know, but rather than try to fight and go remove them from city property, I figured. So I've been talking to several of the council members and trying to get a date to go before the council and ask them to give me the vote to release them to me, and hopefully we can get that done pretty quickly. They're in a wooden shed, and we had to cancel the truck and crane to move them, and we were raising money to put them back in the same prominent position they were in at each of its locations. And our historical sites are really starting, because of the money we're generating through private-public partnership, we're going to really have our historical sites in top shape, and we're actually going to start taking some of these river cruises on cruises to the historical sites, as well as to the different places in those areas where they dock. So it's going to give us a chance to really bring more visitors to our historical sites and put those monuments back in the same contents they were erected in.
Well, that's where they belong, and that's where they should be.
Yeah, I really think they ought to go back where they were, but I don't think we'll ever win that battle in the city of New Orleans. And in the condition the city's in right now, they'll probably be better off in the historical sites.
Okay, hold on for a second there, Billy. We have to take our first break, so don't go anywhere, folks. You're listening to the Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya Show on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com. If you want to call, it's 504-556-9696. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The Ralph's Market Hotline.
Got a one-track mind, it's a sign of the times. Find a whole new revelation. Prime time, anytime, pay the payment for your crime. Don't lose your concentration. No. I don't want to be crucified.
I'd like to tell you about the Actors Fund, a nonprofit human services organization that helps everyone in performing arts and entertainment. The fund's programs foster stability and resiliency in the lives of everyone who works in film, theater, television, music, radio, and dance. These services include emergency financial assistance for those in crisis due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Please visit actorsfund.org.
Big Easy Pet Shop and Rescue is a nonprofit volunteer-run rescue. We provide adoption services and care for homeless animals across the New Orleans metro area. We also offer pet supplies and grooming services at our downtown and Marigny locations. The shops are located at 839 Spain Street and 513 Dumaine Street and are open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays and noon to 6 on Saturdays, noon to 5 on Sundays. We can be found on the web at BigEasyPetShop.com. Support local animals in need by shopping and adopting with Big Easy Animal Rescue.
Hi, this is Kevin Carr, host of Fat Guys at the Movies. Listen every Sunday at 8 p.m. on WGSO 990 AM, the community voice of the Crescent City.
Hi, I'm William Wallace. You can hear me live on Tuesday nights at 5 o'clock here on WGSO, or see what I have to say on Facebook at William Wallace for America.
The 34th Annual New Orleans Film Festival, inviting guests to 6 days of in-person screenings at the Contemporary Arts Center, the Broad, and the Britannia Theaters uptown and at Canal Place from November 2nd to the 7th, plus a virtual cinema running November 2nd through the 12th. Tickets and pass information, film schedule, and how to watch from wherever you are at NewOrleansFilmFestival.org. We know you'll have a great time, so your first ticket is on us with the code NOLALOVE. Donate your vehicle and make a difference. WGSO 990 AM has partnered with Charitable Adult Rides and Services, also known as CARS, to allow you the opportunity to donate your car, truck, motorcycle, RV, or boat to our nonprofit organization. You may qualify for a tax deduction while supporting a cause that is near and dear to your heart. Simply go to WGSO.com and follow the link on our homepage. Vehicle donation pickup is always free to you, and most vehicles can be picked up within 24 to 72 hours. You'll receive an initial car donation receipt upon pickup, and then the CARS team will work to turn your car into cash to support our cause. Once your vehicle is sold, the CARS team will provide you proper tax forms in time to file. Their friendly donor support representatives are available 7 days a week to assist throughout the process. Again, for more information, go to WGSO.com.
Hi, I'm Huck.
And this is Dave.
Please join us on Liberty or Lockdown on Thursdays at 5 p.m.
Be there.
Patriotic Jambalaya. Call in the Ralph's Market Hotline, 504-556-9696. May I advise you, for Mardi Gras, order your king cakes from Ralph's Market in Gonzales. They also have the sugar-free king cakes, and they'll ship it to you.
Sugar-free king cake?
Yes.
Well, it's sugar-free, but there's an artificial sweetener in there to try to give it the little kick that it's got. All right. Well, I have one more question for you, Billy.
I'm back with Billy Nungesser.
Mr. Nungesser.
Lieutenant Billy Nungesser.
Congratulations again on the re-election.
Thank you.
I was doing some research, and it's glad to see some conservative Republicans get any position in any state, in the country. I think it's country's deep in need of that. But I was reading something the other day, and it said, because New Orleans is in bad shape with crime and things like that, but all the mayors of New Orleans since 1872 have been Democrats. Now, I think I did not know that, and I think that place is starving for good conservative leadership there. What do you think about that?
Well, I think what we've got to do, I agree with you. What we've got to do is get all the people that are able to vote. When you look at a mayor's race, this race was actually a worse turnout than the mayor's race, but I think the turnout was similar when this mayor got elected. And if the conservatives would have voted, say, 80% in that mayor's race, it would have probably been a different outcome. So the people, I think it's a lot of times they don't think they got a chance of winning. They don't think you can really change anything, so they don't go vote. You know, I was shocked at how few people voted in this election. Educated, conservative people that didn't go vote. And, you know, if anybody lost a race by a few hundred votes and looked at some of their friends and family that probably didn't vote, they'd be very upset because, especially in high Republicans areas like St. Tammany, where I live, to see such low turnout when you had every race on the books just shocks me.
What surprised me is Brandon Trostplayer, not right at the bottom. I thought he was going to take it all home.
Well, let me tell you, I've made this statement before, and I've probably got myself in a jam saying it before the election, but my father worked his whole life to build the Republican Party, never took a dollar. Even when we were poor, he spent his own money trying to get people to register Republican, pulling that elephant all over the state. But he always gave every state central committee person a vote. He always made the financial situation of the party public. And for the few people that went in the back room and endorsed Jeff Landry and handpicked a few other Republicans to endorse, it is a disgrace to the party and what we stand for. So I told people I'm going to work harder and spend more of my own money to get a new chairman and people elected to the same state central committee that commit, one, that the chairman will allow every state central committee a voice and a vote, and that every quarter they will provide every state central committee with the financial papers of the party. They take buses around the state. They've raised no money. They sold the endorsement, and it's criminal what they're doing. And I had more state central committee people call me and say, I want to quit the party for what they did. And of course, whether you like them or not, any Republican candidate did not get a chance to stand up in front of the state central committee and say what they stand for. They just went in the back room and handpicked who they want to endorse. And that's not what this party's about. So, look, I'm coming after them. And I'm looking for good people that want to run, one, that are honest, will keep their word, and give everybody a vote. And if we elect a new chairman that will do that, I will help them bring back the elephant stomp that was taken away from the party by the legislators. That event does not raise money for the party. It raises money for the already elected Republican delegation. So we'll take that event and we'll form an event and make all the Republican elected officials buy tickets and tables for that event, and we'll give some of it to the Republican women, and we'll give some of it to the college Republicans that my dad used to help support. So we grew those young people and nurtured them into the conservative ways. We've done nothing to support anything but those few people's travels around the state at the expense of the Republican Party. So there's some people disagree with me, and that's fine, but you ain't seen nothing until I go to battle to replace these people that just decided it was their decision to endorse who they wanted. And not just Jeff, the other candidates endorsed too. It wasn't fair to anyone running to the way they did that.
They endorsed Steve Scalise for House Speaker, and Steve Scalise did some uncalled for things, like instead of attending President Trump's farewell speech, he attended the Biden installation with Donald Brazil as his date.
Well, you know, here's the thing. If you have a meeting and all the state central committee people get a voice on anything, even the ones that don't agree, at least their voice was heard. And so whether they disagree or agree or who they endorse, they at least feel like they were part of the process. And so that's the horrible thing about them just deciding, 5 or 6 of them, that who they're going to endorse for any office. So we need to get the party back to the people. And look, I'm encouraging people to run for state central committee that, one, believe in that and then have the true values of the party. And they deserve a seat at the table and a voice.
Well, one of the things that Sharon Hewitt had done was she promised to reunite St. Bernard because the lines divided it. But then when push came to shove, she never did do what she said she was going to do. She was on the committee for redistricting, and St. Bernard's been divided and not reunited. And I'm not sure why half of St. Bernard belongs to the North Shore. That just doesn't sound right to me. I think it needs to be, put back together again. And so I kind of find it, she didn't win her seat. She'll be gone. She's not going to be in the Senate. She didn't win the gubernatorial race. And then we have also, who else? I'm drawing a blank. A couple of losses there. Oh, Clay Scheck-Snyder. He's not going to be a House leader, right? House Speaker.
Right.
And he's not going to be Secretary of State either.
I heard the Rhino of St. Tammany, Mary Dubuisson, she's in the fight for her political life against Brian Glorioso.
Yeah, there's a lot of runoffs that were surprisingly close. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting race. Let me tell you, this. You talked about Sharon Hewitt in that seat, but all of them carve up the seats as best they can to protect their districts. When I was parish president, we were redrawing the council seats. I tried to let the demographics people draw them the way they ought to be drawn to represent the people. And if we did that, and we'd be far better off, because you're right. It hurts an area. It definitely hurt Plaquemines Parish, because you had 3 state reps. None of them had enough votes in Plaquemines to give Plaquemines the time of day. And then they redrew it and made a little bit more whole to one legislator. But you're right. When you divide up a parish and split it up like that, the people get cheated because they don't get a full representative in the House and the Senate. And it's done that way all over the state, unfortunately.
Hold that thought, Billy. We got to go to a hard break. Patriots, you listen to Holy Patriotic Jambalaya on WGSO. Call the Ralph's Market Hotline, 504-556-9696. Ralph's Market, home of sugar-free king cakes.
Ralph's Market cordially invites you to its Fall Wine Gala, Friday, November 3rd at La Berge, Baton Rouge. Dress in your Great Gatsby best and sample over 80 wines and hors d'oeuvres. It's the Ralph's Market Fall Wine Gala, November 3rd. Get tickets now at ralphsag.com.
It's the Flaming Conservative. Join me now on Friday nights at 7 p.m. for Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya on WGSO.
In baseball, these are the moments that bring us to our feet.
But the most important moment happens when we all stand together.
United for a great cause. So join Major League Baseball and Stand Up to Cancer
as we stand in honor of all loved ones affected by this disease.
I'm Jordana Brewster.
I'm Candace Patton.
Joe Manganiello. I'm Matt Damon. And cancer has in some way touched all of us.
Visit standuptocancer.org/MLB.
Stand up with us.
The Tux Charitable Foundation, in association with the Crew of Tux Parade, is holding the 4th Tux Umbrella Walk and Gumbo Gras on October 28th at 9 a.m. in Audubon Park, shelter number 10 off Magazine Street. Food, drink, live music are all included with registration. This is where Mardi Gras meets Halloween, and everyone is encouraged to come in costume. Kids' activities include the Small Friars Umbrella Decorating Tent, Decorated Wagon Parade, and Small Friars Funhouse. Please go to www.tuxfoundation.org for information and registration.
Tune in at 4 p.m. Monday through Friday for Herds Louisiana Live. Coming in hot, state government shenanigans, business, and more. Only on WGSO 990 AM.
Join me, Mitch Gibbs, every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. live at Premier Nissan at 6636 Veterans Boulevard, where Metairie meets Kenner for our 12th season of In the Red Zone.
Got your license to grill? Call Chew on This Saturdays at noon on WGSO and tell us all about it. Don Clement and Patty B are waiting to hear your cooking secrets.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Colleen Crane. Walker police have arrested 2 people involved in the murder of 60-year-old Sarah Santini, who was reported missing on October 7th. Santini's vehicle was found abandoned in Laplace on October 12th. Her body was found Thursday by a Livingston Parish Sheriff's deputy off Louisiana Highway 63. Captain John Sharp says about 24 hours later, they arrested Bobby Schneider of Gonzales and Gregory Baker of Ascension Parish.
Proud of the work our detectives did on this case, and also appreciative of the help that we received from not only Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office, who helps us quite a bit, but also the state police.
After he was carjacked Monday, Orleans Parish DA Jason Williams says carjackings are actually down by 44% since the end of August compared to the same time last year, according to a report by the Metropolitan Crime Commission. Williams says progress has been made, but everyone must continue to take precautions.
Rome is burning. We're getting better. Our numbers are going down, but that is not a reason to take our foot off the gas in terms of the strategies that Michelle Woodfork and I were able to put in place in terms of being vigilant.
LRN.
Have you lost Louisiana Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, Louisiana, how are you stopping litter? In Terrebonne Parish, we put our trash in a bag and never out the car window.
In Bienville, we bag it, tie it, and put a lid on it.
We keep litter out of our lakes in Lafayette.
And in Calcasieu Parish, we keep our roads clean by clearing out our truck beds and securing our loads.
We need every person in every parish to stop littering and keep Louisiana beautiful. For more litter prevention tips, visit letlouisianashine.org.
Sponsored by Louisiana Lieutenant Governor's Office and Keep Louisiana
Ralph's
Beautiful.
Market cordially invites you to its Fall Wine Gala, Friday, November 3rd at L'Auberge Baton Rouge. Dress in your great Gatsby best and sample over 80 wines and hors d'oeuvres. It's the Ralph's Market Fall Wine Gala, November 3rd. Get tickets now at ralphsag.com.
It's the Flaming Conservative. Join me now on Friday nights at 7 p.m. for Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya on WGSO.
A powerful threat calls for a greater response.
Not tomorrow. Not in a few years.
But right now.
Some battles must be faced together. Cancer fighters stand up to cancer every day, and you can be part of this battle too.
Visit standuptocancer.org to learn more.
Together, we can save lives.
Hi, this is Kate Delaney from America Tonight. The show kicks on at midnight, and I'm loving the overwhelming support in New Orleans. What a group of fantastic listeners here on WGSO 990 AM. Join me every morning to catch up on what I call the buzz in your backyard and mine. You'll hear some of the most interesting people on the planet from the world of business, politics, sports, and, well, just intriguing people with a story to tell. If you're around, give us a call. Don't worry, I'll spit out the number plenty of times on the air. Let's agree to meet at midnight right here on WGSO 990 AM in New Orleans.
You'll never get a bum steer at Joey John Fro's Meats, 2324 Paris Road, Chalmette. An old-style butcher shop like Mom and them had. Also try Joey's Grill, using all fresh meats from the butcher set. 4th-generation butchers from the 9th Ward. You will never get a bum steer at Joey John Fro's Meats, 2324 Paris Road, Chalmette, 504-279-6590.
All right, welcome back to Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya. This is Martha Huckabee. I'm in the studio with my dear friend John Swisher and his co-host Mike. We have the Lieutenant Governor, Billy Nungesser, and also winning. He's winning. We're winning. We took back the gubernatorial seat, the House and the Senate, so the Republicans really need to do some changing, and we need to see some things change. And we're going to have all eyes on these leaders. And if they do nothing, like they have been known to do nothing, what do you think is going to come about this? I don't think, I think a lot of people are really going to have their eyes on Jeff Landry.
Well, I think we're going to have to see some real buckling down in all the departments in wasteful spending. And we always say that, but really there's so much waste in consulting contracts and studies and things that have just gone on for years.
Right.
Look, when I took office, Jay Darden told me I'd have to close 7 parks. I didn't have the money. just getting rid of the waste and the stuff that just been there forever. We saved $4 million and turned our parks around into making money. But it's just, you got to have the work ethics, and you got to get rid of, a lot of those people give political donations, but you just got to do the right thing and cut the spending, because we've got a lot of waste.
Yes, we do. You've already met Dr. John Merrifield, author of School Reform, How and Why a Priceless Tale. He's actually in the studio with us, and he has to implore upon you.
Yeah, we need to make sure that our new governor goes for universal choice and not something he seems to be hinting at, namely you get choice if you're assigned to a failed school. That's not good enough. We need to get the entrepreneurs into the action. Everybody potentially has a child that's not going to be a good fit for the assigned school. They all need choice, and so we need to hold the governor's feet to the fire on that. And the other thing that I want to implore the leadership in Louisiana to do is to look at what Arkansas did and what Texas might be doing this month, and to make sure y'all do it a little better.
Yeah, listen, are you having your book in the book fest in Baton Rouge?
I tried to get a book signing in Baton Rouge, and they turned me down.
Well, look, do me a favor. Get in touch with me after the program Monday, and if you want a spot in the book, it's under the library system, which I'm over the state library. So we have the book fest in Baton Rouge is coming up. I think it's the 28th of October, and if it's not too late to get you a table in there, because it's all Louisiana authors, from books on politics to all of the books written about the coast and everything else. So call me Monday if you'd like to get a spot there. I'll see if I can do that for you.
Well, that'd be great. I'm afraid I'm headed back to back home on the 24th, but technology is a wonderful thing. I can't literally be there to sign stuff, but I can be there via Zoom or by other technology to hover over my books, and people can always send me the book sleeve, and I can sign it and send it back. So, we'll get them connected.
We'll see if we can make that work. We'll talk on Monday and see if we can hook that up.
Okay.
Well, Louisiana really needs to implement school choice, because as of it stands right now, we don't have that. We have the charters, which are really, like Dr. Merrifield says, it's a chance. It's a lottery.
School chance, not school choice. So, yeah, they are. Yeah. The charters are fine, but they're not a reform vehicle. They're an escape vehicle. And, you start with escape, and then hopefully you change the system and reform it. So that's what we need to do. And then we probably need to go through the private sector, because charters are what they are. They're free, independent public schools. And because they're free, they have shortages, wait lists, and that yields lotteries. And that's not acceptable for moving forward on improving our school systems.
Well, I tell everybody the key to getting these legislators thinking in the right direction. I hosted many events at my Pentagon apartment up there for things that were critical, is to get them in a group and explain to them the fundamentals of exactly what you're talking about, because you don't win any battles on the House and Senate floor. You only lose. When the lobbyists and the hired guns get on that floor, you only lose. So you've got to get ahead of time, make them understand, have them shake their head, yes, they understand, and then you got a fighting chance that at least they made somewhat of a commitment prior to over that Capitol. My dad used to say, if you don't do the heavy lifting around the state, working it all year, you only lose at the Capitol. You don't win. And I've seen that happen 100 times, where people had good intentions, really thought they had the votes for good things, and all of a sudden it disappeared. And it happens because those lobbyists, they're good at what they do because they've been doing it a long time. And what happens is you think you got them going in one way, and they switch of a turn of a switch, they change on you.
Well, the way we're doing it, we're 47th, 48th, 49th, 50th in education. We can't get any lower. And there's only, right. I mean, the only place that we can do is move up. So at some point in time, the system that is implemented is broken and it really needs to be addressed. And adding school choice would only allow us to, add another option.
Absolutely.
And we need other options because children are very diverse and one size will never fit all. No amount of money will make one size fit all.
Absolutely. Well, I look forward to working with y'all on that.
Well, we appreciate you a lot.
I have a Zoom subscription, so I'll be glad to show up anywhere people need to understand what the issues are.
Well, we ought to host something up there in Baton Rouge at the beginning of session when so many new people are going to be up there. It's a great time to get them. I tell people I host these breakfasts at my apartment because they all live there, and they'll stop for free breakfast before they go over to the Capitol. And we were able to get them to recognize the weight loss surgery for obese employees because the doctors actually showed that 6 months after the surgery, like 80% of the people were off their medication. So in the long run, it actually saves the state money. Well, until you could show them the proof of that, we couldn't get the state to cover state employees that were obese. And now it's not only changing lives in the long run, it's saving the state money. But had we not, we called it White Coat Wednesday, had we not got those doctors in there to explain that they had documentation of people getting the surgery and how many people lost weight and stayed off their medication, we'd have never got them to accept that. So you got to show them the facts and the common sense of what you're trying to do.
Like the ESA is following the students.
I was going to say that
Right.
universal choice is a money saver. I mean, it saves the state money because people will opt their child out of the assigned school if it's not a good fit. And if Louisiana could do what my adopted home state in Utah has done, $8,000 ESA, just think that's less than what the state spends on schooling through the public school. A lot of people would take that. That would save the state a lot of money and more important, make the system a lot more effective.
There's simple things that can be fixed, like the audits. We don't have audits for our elections in the Secretary of State's office. And so no one can, check to see if they actually received the votes that they said they received. There's no audits. So there's things that we can do. No, we don't audit our elections. And I think we're the only state that doesn't. And Louisiana's been known for corruption probably longer than I've been alive. And this needs to change. It needs to end.
So when I got elected the first time, I was in the runoff against Kip Holden. And that is the first time I had seen the Democrats busing people for early voting. Usually they pick up people in vans election day, bring them to the precinct. Well, that year they had 7 Greyhound buses circling Baton Rouge, picking up anybody, and they can bring them to one place to vote. And if they didn't have their name on it, they were allowed to fill out, I think they called it a Merrifield ballot, and they let them fill it out. And if nobody contested it, I never did find out that those ballots were, the election wasn't close enough for me to contest it, but it bothered me that they were going around picking up people, bringing them, they all voted, and I was being told that if they were not on the rolls, they let them vote anyway, and they kept them separate, and I never did find out if those votes got counted. And I was told if you contested the election, they then would look at whether they were counted. And that just always bothered me, because if anybody could have walked in that day and voted early, and they did count those votes, and I would have lost in a close election, you don't have a time frame to contest it to find the fraud in those votes. And that just always bothered me.
We're going on a quick break.
Okay, hold on a second there, Billy. We have to go to a quick break. You're listening to WGSO 990 AM, the Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya Show, and the Ralph's Market Hotline at 504-556-9696. We'll be right back.
10 that have expanded it significantly in the last couple of years. It's universal.
And I guarantee you, Louisiana is not the bottom. They're one of the bottom. And I guarantee you, those 10 states that have
So there's repeated proof that school choice.
Join me now on Friday nights at 7 p.m. for Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya on WGSO.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
The Louisiana Music and Heritage Experience presents NOLA Funk Fest, October 20th through the 22nd at the New Orleans Jazz Museum. This festival includes 3 days of our local love music, food, art, and fun, plus a special Fats Domino and Dave Bartholomew exhibit. The festival will feature Irma Thomas, Leo Nocentelli, the Dirty Dozen Brass Band, George Porter Jr. and the Runnin' Partners, and so much more. For tickets and more information, go to nolafunkfest.com.
Hi, I'm Huck, an active Christian who loves Louisiana. One of my goals is to bring Louisiana's education from 50th to number 1.
And I'm Dave. I'm not afraid of government bureaucrats. I fear God. Our rights and freedoms come from Him.
This is Liberty or Lockdown. Please join us on Thursdays at 5 p.m. on WGSO 990 AM and WGSO.com.
Do you suffer from chronic pain, inflammation, anxiety, or sleep problems? CBD or THC might be the right fit for you. The CBD Wellness Center has everything from tinctures to gummies, THC, and THC-free products. Visit us at 1011 Veterans Boulevard at Oaklawn or 7121 Jefferson Highway by St. Rita. Call 504-252-0033 or visit www.cbdwellnesscenternola.com.
What does grace mean to you? At Grace at the Green Light, a 501c3 nonprofit, we believe that everyone deserves a hot meal, clean drinking water, a welcoming community, and a chance to go home again. You can help create a new home and hope for those who need it most. To see how, visit our website at graceatthegreenlight.org.
All right, welcome back to Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya. We have the Lieutenant Governor, Billy Nungesser, on the phone, and we have Dr. John Merrifield in the studio with us. And this is John Swisher and co-host Mike's show. We're just here visiting. So, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, today I found out that I'm no longer allowed to go back to any of the Louisiana Federation Republican lunches for the Jefferson Parish women, simply because I asked a question, a very, honest question about, mask mandates and lockdowns and things that matter here. Even in Jefferson Parish, when all of that stuff was going on, we saw how we were locked down, and even the boat launch was locked down. Cynthia Lee Shang made people get off their boats out in the water. It made no sense to me. I was reading a book on a bench by myself, and a police officer asked me to leave. I had no one anywhere near me. So it was just like a power grab. So anyway, I was removed today. I was officially told that I can't even return to any of those. So we have cancel culture and tyrants within our own Republican Party who silence you because they don't want to hear what you have to say, because it goes against what they are saying or implementing and forcing upon us. And, the reason I adore you so much is that I don't feel or see that you're a part of that. I don't.
So they won't let you they won't let you attend the meetings?
Right, because I, witnessed Scott Walker, who won his seat, but he did not allow, there are things that he did. He locked 3 of his 4 doors, made people walk in and out of the same door. If you didn't wear a mask, he threw you out. And, there's stuff that I saw that I noticed that he is just more of a globalist than he is a local community person fighting for our community. And I'm born and raised here. This is my city. And so, because I have a different view from you, but I'm a Republican. He used to be a Democrat. He's, to me, fake news media. And I have the right to say that. And if he doesn't like it, well, it's okay. But, to cancel culture another Republican who's a true Republican when you're a rhino, I have a problem with that. And that's what I see they're doing within our own republic. We have to clean up our Republican Party. I don't even know how to do it.
Well, the party is supposed to be welcoming and having different views, and that's what built the Republican Party. Is they can respectfully disagree.
Yes.
Some more conservative than others, but when you state your belief or what you shouldn't be excluded. I started. There was no strong. My mom had started the first Republican Women Algiers crew around our kitchen table. Well, Algiers is not. Those people, most of them elderly, were dying off. It was a small group. So when I was parish president, I invited 100 women off of the Republican rolls in the parish to lunch, and I had David Vitta's wife and Bobby Gendel's wife speak, and I told them if they joined today, I'd pay their dues.
I remember
and
saying that.
we had a bunch of them sign up. Well, the leadership, finally they separated from the Algiers because Algiers didn't want to change the name. I understand that. But they also agreed that if 70% of that group endorsed a candidate, that they were worthy of getting the Republican endorsement.
Yeah.
And I think the Republican women, state and federal, should do the same, because you are getting a lot of people run as Republicans. And if that group can hear from every candidate, and they think one of them is worthy of the 70%, they should get the endorsement. And as a matter of fact, in this last election, they endorsed 3 people got 70% plus. Me, the sheriff of St. Bernard, of Plaquemines, Jared Turlidge, and Jennifer Van Rankin were the only 3 to get the 70 plus 1 to get the endorsement. Everyone else fell below that threshold. But they've got 200 women in that group. And I think a lot of them are in it because their voice is heard. And although some of them disagree on certain issues, they at least get a voice in deciding who they support.
They don't even want to hear my voice. The minute they hear it, they run. And it's and I'm not yelling. I'm talking just like I am to you. But you know what? We're going to prove we're going to get this school choice bill through the House and the Senate. And we're going to do something great here in Louisiana. We're going to bring us from 50th to number 1 with or without the Republicans. Somehow or another, we're going to do it. And I believe that, it's a good thing. And Dr. Merrifield is going to be the catalyst. He's going to help us introduce it here.
Yeah,
well,
the most important thing is what's in the bill, not just getting a bill passed.
Yes.
Because Louisiana's already passed several school choice bills, but they're for little subpopulations of all the children. That doesn't create the dynamic that we need to improve both the public schools and the private schools. We need the full market involved on a level playing field.
Well, they elect a lot of new people. I don't know a lot of them that are in these runoffs, and some that, but I know a lot of people ran because they're fed up. And I'm hoping when we find out what they're really about, that they really going up there to make some change, and don't lose sight of why they ran, and that's going to be important.
I'm going to back all my candidates, but I'm going to keep all the candidates that won, but we definitely need to hold them all accountable and really try and flip, what the Democrats have done to us, because we're in a dangerous place.
The devil and God are in the details.
You're right.
The Democrat Party is the agents of Lucifer.
Well, I don't know. They have some Republicans that are not behaving very well themselves. So thank you so much for being who you are, Lieutenant Governor Bill Nungesser. We see some great things coming from you.
I'll be glad to help educate in any way I can.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'll keep you updated on the monument. Right, we're not going to give up on getting those back.
Got a minute left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you, Billy. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right.
And you'll be hearing for Dr. Merrifield. All right. Bye-bye. Dr. Merrifield, you have like 2 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Well, let me repeat what I said at the luncheon today. We have two problems coming up here. One, a fiscal cliff at the federal level. Pay attention. We're running out of the ability to borrow. And that's going to hit the state as well. The state's going to run out of some federal money here in the next 2 or 3 years. You better be ready. The other issue is, again, on this school choice. We need school choice for everyone. And we need to be better than Texas. And we need to be better than Arkansas. So pay attention to what's going on there. Make the school choice bill a little better than either one of those. Louisiana's losing people. Can't afford to do that. Got to compete with the neighbors.
Yeah, we need to get our family to come back to Louisiana.
Yes.
More businesses to come back, make it business friendly, remove all the red tape, get them to come back and stay, not want to leave again.
That's right. That's
And
right.
Corruption is poison.
It's because of you, Martha. I'm staying in Louisiana. I was moving to Mississippi.
No, we
Two
need
colleagues
we need more
talked me
people.
into staying here. That's why I'm doing it.
Louisiana is a beautiful state, just like Billy says. We have some, Billy's always talking about the staycations. We have some beautiful locations that we can go to, and our families are leaving because they can't find work here, right? So we do need
Or
to
good
implement
schools here for their children.
or good schools that don't cost
Yeah.
$20,000 a year,
Yeah.
right? So we implement that school choice. Go to policytalk.org. That's policytalk.org. And you can also check out the climate change link.
Yeah. I mean, policytalk.org is not just about education or fiscal cliff at the federal level. You want to get in a good argument with people over climate change? We need some good arguments on that. Go to policytalk.org. And go to policytalk.org and get the points that you need to discuss.
Right. And any of your friends that are liberal that, are all about climate change, direct them to policytalk.org. And then they can research more about what they're arguing about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank all our guests, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Thank you, Doctor. I'm glad you came on. Thank you, Martha, for hosting us. My buddy John over here. We are going to say goodnight. We appreciate you joining us. This is the Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya Show on WGSO 990 AM. Thank you to our sponsor, Ralph's Market.
And if you're in Metairie, eat at Rock and Roll Kitchen on Veterans Highway.
Absolutely. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.